Alright, what is up everybody? So, you guys haven't really heard from me or seen what's going on with the car or anything like that in a while, so I figured I might as well do a video just kind of quickly running you through what the car looks like, what's going on with it. So obviously, as you can tell, there's no engine, no transmission, wiring harness is just sitting here. It's all labeled and everything like that, so it's gonna be real easy to put back together. But essentially, just a quick rundown. I bought the car and just beat the living shit out of it for probably like the month and a half that I had it. Ended up blowing up the 4L60E, so I lost first gear, and then I kept driving it and still kept racing it and shit like that. So eventually my engine ended up throwing a rod, so then when I dropped the transmission, I pulled the engine out too, and this is what the engine looks like now. It's really close to being able to be put back in. I had to put a new rotating assembly in and everything like that, except for like the rods and pistons. I only had to replace one rod from it throwing a main bearing, or not a main bearing, but a rod bearing. So I had to replace the crank with a remanufactured one and replace one of the rods. But other than that, it's all back together. I am putting a BTR stage 2 cam in there. That's actually what's in there right now. So in case you don't know what was already done to the car, if you look over there, it obviously had long tubes and everything like that. The car did, right before I ended up blowing up the transmission, I just put brand new Texas Speed and Performance 1 7/8 long tube headers on it, and then I just got the Y pipe in, and then I connected that to the SLP Loudmouth 2 exhaust that was already on the car when I got it. But yeah, that's just kind of like an update on where the car is at. I'm still waiting on a couple parts to be able to put it in and hopefully start it. I am nervous just because I've never done a bottom end on an engine, so I've done everything to the best of my ability, and I guess at this point really all I can do is just throw it in and send it and hope it doesn't need another rod bearing. I hope it doesn't, but if it does, it does. If I catch it soon enough, it won't damage the cam or the new lifters or anything like that I'm going to put in. I do have a list over here of parts that I still need to get for that. I'm just not even going to bother showing you that. That's just parts for my truck. So it obviously needs a new oil pressure sensor. I ended up breaking that when I pulled the engine. Engine lift plate just to make that a little bit easier. I ended up snapping an oil pan bolt, so I need those. LS7 lifters, and then obviously just the normal like oil filter, and then I'm not sure if I'll be able to get the harmonic balancer on without the install tool, so that's why that was on there. But the plan is to pretty much get that lift plate and then try and get that engine in past that firewall and then put the transmission underneath it, because I'm trying to do the bare minimum to get it running, just to start it and run it through the RPMs and everything, just to make sure it's not going to eat another rod bearing after I just put a brand new transmission and everything in. So I'm trying to do it like just put the bare minimum in, no transmission, no nothing, just so if it does throw a rod bearing again, I can just pull it right back out in an hour and then spend even more money on getting it rebuilt. But yeah, not really much else left to talk about. I mean, not really much has happened with the car. I mean, it's essentially just sat here since the last time you guys seen a video. Like, got different tail lights and blacked out that back panel, but other than that, hasn't gotten new anything besides engine parts. So I'm gonna try to be more consistent with uploading videos, whether it's just random little stupid stuff like burnouts, donuts, like something, I don't know. But I guess now that my neighbor just decided now is the time to mow his lawn, I guess I'll end the video here. If you're new to the channel, like, comment, and subscribe. Give me any update or tips or anything like that on throwing like a bottom end together, just so that way if I see it in time, I can double check and make sure that it's good before I put it in the engine or in the car. So alright, well, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.